Hey guys, it's Sagar, and in this video, I'm going to unbox and take a first look at the Google Pixel 7a in this new sea blue color. This is the Indian retail box and I purchased it from Flipkart because for some reason, that's the only place where you could buy a legit genuine Google Pixel phone. It is also only available in 8GB RAM and 128GB storage variant, so this is it. I purchased this one for a full price of 43,999 rupees because I don't have a HDFC Bank credit or debit card. If you have either of these cards, you can get it for as low as 39,999 rupees. Now 44,000 rupees is the same price at which Pixel 6a was launched last year. Anyways, we will talk more about the pricing and if it is worth it in its full review. For now, let us go ahead with the unboxing. This is how the Indian retail box looks like. It is very slim and not that heavy. And the reason for that is, inside, all we get is the phone in this beautiful sea blue color, charging cable, a USB Type-C to Type-A adapter, and a SIM tray ejection pin. That's it. No case, not even Google stickers, nothing. Let me keep these things aside and get back to the phone. The phone feels really good in the hand. It's one of those rare Android phones which comes with a 6.1-inch display and I love this size. I think more companies really need to start making phones with this size. The sides are made of metal and it is very well built. The back, however, is made of plastic. So although it looks exactly like the Pixel 7, material of the back is one way of separating it from the premium line of phones. Despite of having a plastic back, this phone has a nice heft to it. It weighs about 194 grams, but since I am coming from using the iPhone 13 mini as my main phone, this one feels a bit heavy to me. Taking a look around, it gets a power and volume buttons on the right side. These buttons are very nice and tactile, and frankly, these are one of the best ones I have seen in this price range. On the left side, there is just a SIM tray, and it is a single nano SIM tray, so if you want to use two SIM cards, second one will have to be an eSIM. This is not the only issue. Since this phone comes with just 128GB of internal storage, and you don't even get the 256GB storage option, this one should have at least come with a microSD card expansion slot, but no. Now we have nothing but the noise cancelling microphone and antenna bands at the top. And at the bottom, we have two grills on either side of the USB-C port. At the back, there is a Google logo in the middle and this aluminium camera visor which holds the dual cameras and the LED flash. It supports IP67 dust and water resistance rating, so not the IP68 like on the Pixel 7. I think that is it for the physical overview. While we are at the back, let us just look at the cameras before we move on to the front of the phone. As I said, it's a dual camera setup and the main camera is finally a new sensor. So no same 12 megapixel sensor which Google has been using for the last 4 years, I think. This Pixel 7a gets a brand new 64 megapixel main sensor with f1.9 aperture, 26mm lens and optical image stabilization. Next camera gets a 13 megapixel sensor with f2.2 aperture and a 120-degree ultra-wide angle lens. Hopefully, we are going to see some very nice images coming out of this camera combo. Stick around to the channel for a very detailed camera review of this phone which should be coming out in the next few days. Now coming to the front, we have this 6.1-inch OLED display with a refresh rate being bumped to 90Hz. It gets Gorilla Glass 3 protection, which if I am being honest feels really dated in 2023. While the display size is really good, some of you might not like the big and uneven bezels running around the phone. Unless the bezels are huge, which these ones aren't, I am not too worried about them. It doesn't matter which of the phones you are coming from, you can easily get used to them in a day or two. It's not the biggest, crispiest or even the brightest display, but it looks good and colors seem to be accurate. There is a bit of color shift if you look at it from an angle, but most other times you will be looking straight at it, so this shouldn't be that big of an issue. The dual stereo speakers deliver good and loud music, so if you like to watch videos or play games on your phone, you will have a great time with it. There is a 13 megapixel selfie camera in this punch hole style camera cutout at the top, and you get an optical fingerprint sensor under the display. This is definitely not the fastest one out there, but it gets the job done. Just like the bigger brothers, this Pixel 7a packs in Google's Tensor G2 chip, which is said to bring welcome changes in performance and efficiency. It's coupled with Mali G710 MP7 GPU, 8GB of RAM and 128GB of UFS 3.1 storage. It gets 5G antennas, so if your area has 5G coverage, you can enjoy faster download speeds. There is a 4385mAh battery inside, which is actually a bit smaller than the one on the Pixel 6a. But the Tensor G2 chip is said to be more efficient, so I am expecting a bump in its battery backup. But I can only say this for sure after I have used this phone for a couple of days. As you saw during the unboxing that this phone doesn't come with a charger in the box. It does support Power Delivery 3.0, so if you have a compatible fast charger, it can be juiced up pretty quickly. This time, this Pixel 7a supports wireless charging as well. Yes, it is slow wireless charging, but at least it's a step in the right direction. Now comes the part which is the DNA of these Pixel devices. It comes with the purest form of Android 13 which you could possibly get. And because it's a Pixel device, it is almost always first in line to receive software updates whenever Google releases a newer version. Now I've used quite a few Pixel phones in the past, and over time they have the tendency to slow down a bit. Hopefully that won't be the case with this newer generation Pixel phones. Overall, this phone feels very smooth. Out of the box, the display is set to 60Hz, and once you switch it to the highest refresh rate, it feels even smoother. There is a lot going on with the software, and there are some very exciting features on this phone, but I will talk about them in more detail in my full review of this phone. In the coming days, I will also be making a very dedicated detailed video about its cameras. The last Pixel phone which I used was actually the Pixel 4a, so I'm really excited to see how much further Google has improved the cameras. I think it's also the first time in about 4 years that Google has bumped up the cameras on this series of phones, so it will be interesting to see how well they have managed to optimize this new sensor. I also plan on comparing its cameras with a few other phones. If you have any particular phone in mind which you guys want to see this one compared with, let me know in the comments. Overall, for the first impressions, I really like how this phone feels in the hand, and I love this new blue color. I feel like this is the perfect size for a smartphone, so my first impressions about this phone might be slightly biased towards it. As expected, using Android on a Google smartphone is a pleasure, and I'm really looking forward to these cameras. One thing which I'm not really very sure about is its price. I mean, this one is priced dangerously close to the regular Pixel 7, and I still feel if you can spare the extra 5 to 6,000 rupees, going with the Pixel 7 would be a wiser thing to do. Now this is just an unboxing and first impressions video, and I myself have used this phone for less than a day, so I can't really say right now if you should buy it or not, or even if it's a worthy upgrade over the Pixel 6a or not. To be able to answer that, I will be using this phone extensively for the next few weeks, and only then I could give you my final thoughts whether you should go for it or not. As always, I have a lot of videos coming out about this phone, where I am going to talk in much more detail about the cameras and various other aspects. But that is it for this quick unboxing and initial impressions video for now. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe to the channel for a lot more quality tech videos like this. You can also check out some of the other videos from this channel. This has been Sagar, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care.